What's up, guys? Welcome back to Rip City Rundown. We are finally getting to talk about some actual Blazer basketball on the court. And as you know, we are posting this Thursday. This is going to be the time when we will be posting our weekly podcast every single week. We are recording this as of Wednesday night, and we will be posting it Thursday morning, 10 a.m. Pacific time. Every Thursday, we will be premiering the podcast, so you can come hop on, watch it live. We'll probably have one of us in the chat in there, maybe talk a little basketball as you're watching the podcast. But every single Thursday, we'll be dropping this podcast. But it's an exciting new step, exciting to talk about Blazer basketball. Got a little upgraded setup for Cody right there. Looking good with the Blazer background. Cody, how are you doing on this Wednesday night?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. I moved to college, moved into my apartment. So this will be my studio now for the season and then the finals once we make it. We'll get to that later. But anyway, banner's the same from, my setup in the summer, but I got this cool Blazer pop-out sticker. I just set this thing up like 10 minutes ago. It looks pretty cool in the camera. I don't know if you can see it like actually popping out that much, but anyway, cool. I'm just excited to be back for a podcast. It's been a hot minute. Haven't seen Blazers basketball in a while. Highly anticipation for this preseason. And I'm excited to actually watch some meaningful Blazer basketball because it has been forever. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm super excited to watch Blazer basketball again. I think it's now official. I have the worst setup on the pod here. So I'm not going to tell you what team.
We'll get the upgrades.
This team, you guys don't know what it is. If you can guess it, you get a treat. And that's a Montana flag and a Blazer hat. But yeah, I think I have the worst setup. But it's fine because the Blazers are back, and we're talking about Blazer basketball again. I know we're 0-2. It's okay, though, because the preseason is, we don't want to take it too seriously. There are things to talk about, though. There are players that we've now seen live on the court, like Shane Sharp, like Simon's playing next to Dame, So it's cool to just kind of analyze, maybe overreact a little bit. But, yeah, I think this kicks off a little era for Blazer basketball.
Yeah, now you've already given a little bit or some of your thoughts. If you want to read, if you don't want to just listen to us, if you want to kind of read our opinions, West did drop an article. Three reactions?
It was three takeaways. Three takeaways from the first two preseason games. And not to spoil anything, but I do kind of go in depth on Simons and his maybe slowish start. I talk about Jerami Grant and how he could be the missing piece for Portland. And I do dive into some of the deeper bench players who have struggled.
Yeah, so that is on ripcityrundown.com. As you know, we dropped that website October 4th. It's in the description. And
content. We're all about content.
Selling our shirts too. So go check that out. I'm wearing one right now, but you've heard about that a lot. If you want to go grab it, the link to that website's in the description. So, let's just go ahead and jump into these two games. We got two losses, unfortunately, Monday and Tuesday against the Clippers and the Jazz. So two completely different teams, like expectation-wise going into the year. But again, this is preseason, so I look at the final score and I don't even really care at all. I'm really just looking at how majority of the starters played and guys that will get rotational minutes. So any initial takeaways that you want to get to right off the bat? Any of you two?
I just want to say, just before we actually go into some individual like stats or something, do we care about losing 0-2? Look, it's the preseason. I understand we don't have a lot of stock into the preseason. We don't take a lot away from it, but these are still guys that are going to be playing valuable minutes. And at the end of the day, if you're going to a championship, everyone has to play a role in your part. And when you go 0-2, it's just not an attractive start. That's all I'm saying.
I think for the average fan, or for the not the fan like us, like for us, we can look at a game and even though we lost, we can tell that we may have played well, or the starters played well, or it was a good night overall. But I think the average fan, the average Blazer fan, is looking at this and probably like, oh boy, here goes another season. We're 0-2 and we just lost to possibly the worst team in the NBA. So yeah, I get what you're saying, but personally for me, I feel like the wins and losses aren't the most important thing in the preseason.
Yeah, I think first thing jumped out to me was, and of course I talked about in the article, Anthony Simons' slow start. He obviously kind of went stupid to end the year last year, and he was going off. He obviously got that big contract, 4 years, $100 million. Kudos to him. And I think now the expectation for Simons has been raised significantly. I think we're almost expecting him to be not necessarily better than CJ, but maybe kind of be more efficient, be more like have a better shot profile than CJ. So Simons has big shoes to fill here. Obviously, he started pretty poor. Not necessarily. I don't have exact stats, but okay, I have it from the Clippers game.
So
two for 12 from the field.
Yeah,
one for six from downtown.
6 for 25 combined in the two games. So
yeah, so obviously not good numbers. I say pump the brakes. Let's just give the rest of the preseason. Let's give some regular season games. That's what matters. Obviously, Simons is not going to shoot like this forever. So I know it's easy to overreact, but I would just say let's calm down.
I mean, Simons, he was talking about during the summer how he wanted to be more efficient. He wanted to be a 50, 40, 90 guy. But, sure, the shots didn't fall, but I'm not going to lie. He was taking some hard shots. I mean, I understand he's going to be in the starting lineup, but when he was on the bench and, he was, I guess, the go-to guy, it was kind of a little too much iso ball, in my opinion. I would have liked to see the ball, pass more spread out along the court. Cause, in my opinion, I think Simons he was rushing some shots, taking some shots that, are not going to get you, 50% from the field if you do that all season long. So
yeah,
I just hope to see that change a little bit.
Yeah, I think an interesting thing about Simons is a lot of his minutes, or when I say a lot, I mean like half of his minutes have come where he is the primary guy on the court. We've seen in the rotations that after the first 6 minutes, him and Dame kind of split a lot of time, at least in the first half. So he's obviously got all the attention on him, but that's kind of the same thing that he did last year. He even said it though in his post-game press conference, like it's just going to take time to get used to being the two next to Dame. And again, it's the preseason. This is their first 2 games against other competition. So if a month into the season we're still having these issues, then you actually need to worry about it. But for now, it's just something you got to monitor. Hopefully he improves it over the rest of the preseason.
Yeah, I think you can definitely question like how well will Dame and Simons coexist. I mean, obviously we haven't got a big enough sample size to really make a call on that. So I think it's fair to like be like, okay, let's just like hope it works out. Obviously not everything is all, rainbows and roses over there in the city of roses. If you catch my drift. No, I'm just kidding. But I do think that they will work. And all I'm saying is it's unfair to make a final call 2 games in. That's all.
Agreed. That's kind of what I've been promoting in anything I've posted. Like I've got people commenting like, Ant is completely overpaid, or I can't believe we drafted Shaden. And it's like,
yeah,
again, it's 2 games in the preseason. And we'll get into Shaden Sharp in a minute, but like for the Anthony Simons, Damian Lillard backcourt, we signed Anthony Simons to that 4-year, $100 million contract, not for him to step in and fill CJ McCollum's shoes right away and suddenly be good. We have the long run too. So it's going to take time. Obviously, we hope it doesn't take a whole season to figure out, but again, 2 preseason games, you can't overreact. A thing that I am overreacting to, and I'm super excited for, though, is Jerami Grant's play, because he has looked awesome in this Blazer uniform. He is active offensively, defensively. He's knocking down threes. Him and Dame just look like they have an amazing chemistry together. So that has been one thing that if I am going to overreact about something, it's going to be that. Obviously, it's a good thing, but it's just awesome.
I knew who Jerami Grant was before this, obviously, before he came to our team, but I did not realize this man is a stud. Okay? He is a stud. Getting into the hole, he can get to the hole, and he can make that wide open 3, and even contested 3. I mean, he's just such like, when us Blazer fans were like, our defense is bad. We got to improve defense next year. Oh, we got Jerami Grant. We're gonna get some great defensive acumen on this end of the floor. But then it just went right through my mind how gifted this guy is on offense. I mean, you could argue. I mean, okay, I'm not going to say he's our second best offensive player, but you could argue
he's shown it so far.
He's shown it so far for sure.
Let me kind of add on to that. I'll pose a different question, but kind of in the same realm there. I made this claim on my article that I said Jerami Grant can be and will be the best wing that Damian Lillard has ever played with.
I think that's a completely fair statement.
And I'm not counting LaMarcus Aldridge in this. He's back to the basket post up. The guys I include, I think the one guy who could not, Jerami Grant couldn't pass is Batum.
I think he
the case.
I mean, Batum his years in Portland were definitely extremely underrated, and even because obviously
were good.
I was
They were
younger,
good.
I don't remember it as well as I do the LA or the late LA, but I think Jerami Grant has more of a ceiling than Batum.
Yeah.
Batum was always steady though. Like you never had a
True.
bad game from Batum.
I mean,
but
this was Grant's stat line last night. Played 27 minutes, 4 for 8 from the field, 2 for 2 from 3, 14 points, 4 rebounds, and an assist. And obviously, like maybe the rebounding numbers to be a little bit up. I mean, Josh Hart did have 10 boards, kind of
Wow.
hogging the boards there from Josh
the
Hart.
Clippers game,
Yeah.
that
I'm
boy
looking
was
at clips.
crashing.
Yeah, Josh Hart is one of the better rebounding guards in the league. So, but if Jerami Grant's putting in 14 on efficient shooting a night,
Yeah,
as the theoretical 3B option, I mean, him and Nurk are on the same level, in my opinion. That's good. That's great.
Yeah, against the Jazz, he also went 50%, 5 of 10. So he's shooting 50% from the field this preseason. And then what did he go in the first game? 2 for 2 from 3?
2 for 2 from 3.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
3
sure
for
was
5
3
for
for
3
3
in
for
this
5.
one. So
If you guys were to give one award to the most outstanding player so far, we're giving it to Jerami Grant, right?
yeah, it's got to be Jeremy because
I can tell you who it's not.
All right, let's get into the next player. I like going player to player.
It's not
Who
Greg
is
Brown
it
the
not?
third.
Okay,
not Greg Brown the
we'll,
third.
we'll definitely save the end of the bench guys.
Okay.
I want to talk about Nurk because
Okay.
I feel like we're kind of running a lot. Again, this is a super small sample size because even in these games, like Jerami Grant only 13 points, but he played only 23 minutes. So Nurk has looked personally, I think, very good offensively so far. He is looking a little stronger going to the rim. He's got a great chemistry with Jerami Grant, and last night especially a great chemistry with Justice Winslow. We'll talk about the 3-yard spot or the starting 3 spot, but Nurkic 5 for 7 for 12 points against the Jazz, and then against the Clippers 5 for 9, 13 points. So he is efficiently scoring, and I think that defensively he's been a little shaky, which is obviously the more important thing, but he's looked good offensively, and we're running a lot through him.
Yeah, I think that's the key. Go ahead, Cody.
I was just gonna say, and he chucked up 4 threes. Don't know why he did that, but in the first 2 games.
That's fair. I do think
and he got that first bucket of the preseason just absolutely drained in his mouth by Kawhi. So, but that's expected.
I will agree with you there, Cody. I think this Blazer team's win probability goes up when Nurk's not chucking from behind the line.
Yeah.
But to your point, Cole, I think Nurk getting the ball, and at the end of the day, Nurk is one of the better passing big men in the league. And this league is, the big men in general over the years has become more and more skilled. I mean, look at Jokic, look at Embiid. They're walking triple doubles if they want to. I know Jokic is at least. I'm not saying Nurk's that level, but Nurk has elements of that. I mean, there was a time when Denver was contemplating, do we go Jokic or Nurk? I mean, let's be honest. They had them both. Obviously, they made the right call, But
what if they didn't, or what if they chose Nurk?
They traded us Jokic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Championship, baby.
We probably would win. I don't know if we'd win a title, but dude, imagine we
Is
got
Jokic breaking
and
his
we
leg?
drafted Giannis over CJ. Yeah, I know.
There's so many what ifs.
We can't play that game.
Anyway,
cannot play that game.
I'm sorry. I got off track there, but basically we need to give Nurk a touch on a lot of possessions, because when the ball's on Nurk's hands, look, he might make a mistake every now and then. We know he's prone to missing bunnies or making some bad passes, but when he's at his best and he's getting the ball, this is when the offense is really unlocked, because these defenses can hone in on the guards. We've seen it for the better part of 6-7 years. It's when Nurk's engaged, that's when we're at our best.
Yeah. There's a little bit of a problem. We're kind of exposed. We kind of have a hole in our team, like that. Like, here's our hole. Okay.
We were thinking about doing that this whole time while he was talking.
I just found this napkin. Anyway, Nurkic is such a critical piece for this team. Just picture what would happen if he got hurt, because we are getting a lot of hate for Drew Eubanks. A lot of people are hating on him, and he had a rough 2 first games. Not to talk about him that much, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know about our center situation when Nurk comes off the floor. I think Nurk's gonna have the best plus minus this year by far. So,
do we think is Nurk in the closing lineup?
That's definitely depending on the game.
That's fair. I'm just saying, like, is there a world where Jerami Grant goes small ball 5 here?
I think that's the way we are we raise our ceiling. Like that's a risky thing, but I think the only way we actually have like a really good year is if that small ball lineup is elite.
Like if Jerami Grant gets hurt,
Who-
that sucks. We can work around it. If Simons gets hurt, that sucks. We can work around it. If Nurk gets hurt, we're done.
Who? That's true. Who is your small ball lineup to close games?
It would probably be Dame and
Do you put Dame in there? That's a joke, guys.
Dame and Gary Payton.
Love it.
Nurk or not Nurk.
Grant,
and then probably just
Nasir.
get a little more size, Nasir or Winslow.
Well, the question is, will Nasir be fouled out by then?
Okay, yeah, we've got some.
We're thin, dude.
One thing about Nurk, I don't want to like burst the whole Nurk is like a good passer bubble because I think he is good, but like I feel like there's sometimes like he knows he's a good passer and he will just like anytime Dame shows any sign of cutting back door, he's always passing it no matter what.
And it's a turnover half the time. Yeah.
Like sometimes it's great, but he definitely forces a lot of passes in there. So
yeah. All right. Let's round out the obviously we want to touch on Dame. I mean, he looks like himself. He looks
struggled
better.
struggled game one, but man, he was good last night. 21 points. I think it was 60% from the field, 50%
that is
from
blasphemous if you're saying Dame and struggle in the same sentence.
Well, I mean, he missed some shots, but 21 points in 24 minutes, 6 assists, 5 boards. He stuffed the stat sheet. So no need to talk about Dame.
Yeah. Okay, good. He looks good to me.
What do you want to say?
He just had an interview after the Clippers game, I think it was, and I posted on the TikTok. It was just him saying how he feels good and how he's happy to basically go into a game without thinking in the back of his mind, about the injury. Like he can just play.
Love to hear it.
Huge.
Mentally and physically.
Huge.
Better.
We need him 100% locked in Dame to drag us to the playoffs once again. The one question that we haven't talked about in the starting lineup yet is this 3 spot. Who's starting at the 3? You mentioned it, Cole. Nasir's not looking fantastic.
Yeah, I mean,
well, Nasir hasn't got his opportunity.
Your name Cole?
To start. No, wait, what?
I said, "Is your name Cole?"
I'm
kidding.
Okay. Okay.
That was cool.
Do you want to say something first, Cody?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Nasir hasn't even got his opportunity to start, and I think next game he probably will, just how Chauncey's gone so far. But like he said, open competition for the 3. Josh Hart starts the first game at the 3, 2 for 3 from the field, 5 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists looked good. And then Justice Winslow starts at the 3, 4 or 5 from the field, 8 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, and a block. So this is kind of what I said this, or maybe I think I said on the Instagram Live last night after the Jazz game. I think whoever starts at this 3 is going to look fine because they're not asked to do a lot. They're not going to have the ball in their hands a lot. They're not going to have to take a lot of shots, as you see, only 5 shots from Winslow and then only 3 shots from Hart. And they're going to be efficient probably because they're going to get wide open looks. My thing is, if I had to choose right now, what?
Where's Nasir Little in this?
I was just talking about the 2 that have shown their starting spots, and I'll talk about Nasir too because
okay.
I just want to focus on the 2 that have gotten their opportunity.
Okay.
If I actually had to choose right now, I would start Justice Winslow over Josh Hart. And the reason for that is, and just tell me if I'm thinking straight here, is Josh Hart is a better player and can do more than Justice Winslow. Josh Hart can score, as we saw in the first game. Like Josh Hart took it coast to coast and then, or not coast to coast, it was the first game. Shot clock was winding down 5 seconds and he made a play by himself and got an and 1. Justice Winslow's probably not doing that.
Yep.
If you put Josh Hart in the starting lineup, you're not giving him any opportunity to do things where he is like putting the ball on the floor and making plays for himself. He can do that with the bench unit. And I think if he's playing on the bench, he can use his skill set more. The 3 is already not going to be asked to do much at all. I would rather save Josh Hart's skill set for the bench and have a guy that's going to play defense, can play make, can rebound, can't shoot that well. At least I'm talking about Justice. I would personally rather have him there because, again, you're not asked to do as much.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was a long
Do you want to go, Cody, or do you want me to go?
I'll just briefly say, yeah, I could definitely see that. I agree. Just spreading out it's kind of like a bottleneck. You don't want too much of one thing on one end. You want to spread everything out. So.
Yeah. I was almost gonna
great.
kind of. This might be a bad comparison, but when you said that, like my mind immediately went to like baseball and how you like construct a lineup because you want like protection in the lineup, so you don't want to like stack all your guys at the top. You want
Kind of like for you baseball fans, how the Braves did it with Michael Harris at the 9 hole.
yes, exactly. I think what you're saying makes sense. I think in terms of fit, obviously Josh Hart is one of the better. He's more impactful coming off the bench. Justice Winslow, like you said, I think fits like a glove in the starting lineup because he does the little things. He does the dirty work. It's like so to speak. I think Nasir can do that too.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I would rather have Nasir or Justice start. I think in the end it probably doesn't matter necessarily. For some reason, I feel like Nasir just has better chemistry with the starters, but I feel like Justice probably does more with less. If that makes sense.
That's a good way to put it. I think if we were a rebuilding team, you would obviously start Nasir because his growth is pretty key for this team's future. Now, Nasir in these first 2 games has looked rough. Like he doesn't look like he's really improved much from last year. And again, it's just 2 games, so I'm not going to overreact to it. But just first glance, he hasn't looked good. 1 for 6 last night against the Jazz, and then 1 for 4 against the Clippers. So, and he hasn't hit a 3 yet. And then he's also not playing the best defense. So, I think Nasir is going to get his chance for the starting lineup.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he could look good because like I said, I think you're going to look pretty good in the starting lineup. So,
yeah.
I really don't know how this is going to turn out, but that's just my thoughts. Josh Hart obviously is the best player out of all of those, but I think he fits best off the bench.
I agree. Let's move on. Speaking of, to the bench, let's talk about Greg Brown III. Let's talk about Shane Sharp.
Before I do that, because I just want to, I'm surprised we haven't mentioned this yet, but Keon Johnson was the first guy off the bench in both games. Not a guy I was expecting. So I would have thought it would be like Nas.
Well, if you want to, maybe outside of Watford, we'll put Watford aside. Like Keon was one of the better players on that summer league team.
Yeah, he was definitely the most like improved.
I mean, yeah.
I think other than Simons, like off the bench, he probably gets the ball the most. I mean, he does the most dribbling. He took 9 shots last night. Just, I don't know. Interesting.
He definitely seems like he runs the offense more so than
yeah.
I don't know who else is on there. Like I would say Brandon Williams, but he's not really good at. He wasn't getting first half minutes. I wonder if Keon would still be the first guy off the bench these last 2 games if Gary Payton was healthy, or Trendon. I think the only guy that would be Gary over him, but Keon off the bench, that shows how much he has improved from last year. He wasn't a guy coming into this season, at least before Summer League, that I was like, this guy is a part of our future, really. I kind of just thought of him as like, if we were making the Jerami Grant trade and they needed a little more young talent, he would have just been a throw-in in that deal. But he seems to be well liked by Chauncey right now. So that's an interesting development.
That's good. Let's talk about Shaden Sharp.
Yeah, let's do it.
So,
what do you want to say about him?
Talented players in the draft. And, he gets injured in the Summer League. His first game, doesn't play in the Summer League. So, pressure's on. Pressure's on for him for sure. So I'm not going to critique him that hard, but I mean, you got to shoot better, mate. I mean, he was missing. Was he 2 for 7 last night?
Yeah, I don't think
he was. He was 2 for 7.
Yeah.
He got like 2 Mickey Mouse layups or something, but in the first game, it was rough. It's just, you can tell he's nervous, and I think over time he's going to improve and show why he's the 7th pick.
Hey, Cody.
We need that.
Wait, how old are you, Cody?
How am I? I'm 19.
Yeah, he's 19.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He's only like 4 months older than us, which is just
so
wild.
crazy.
Younger than me.
It's so crazy.
Feels good about myself. I feel good about myself.
Now I feel like a loser.
I forget I'm that old.
Here's what I'll say.
Clowning on him. He's in the NBA. Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay. Shane Sharp obviously hurt his left shoulder in Summer League. Doesn't get to play in Summer League. I feel like people forget this man didn't play at any college.
Exactly.
This dude has been out he hasn't played meaningful basketball in such a long time. That's why I'm going to give him a pass. Like, obviously, he has all the raw athleticism, the raw tools. You just got to put it together. You're jumping into the fire here. Like, I don't care. You're playing the Clippers in the end of the bench. They're all in the league for a reason here. Like,
again, like people expect that since we didn't use that pick to get a player to help right now, they expect that pick to help right now. So I think
Facts.
like Shaden, he definitely, like you said, he looks nervous out there, and he looks like he doesn't really know what's going on. But that's expected. Again, for you think he ever played in front of that many people in high school? Like at
Definitely
least if you
not.
played in college, you get a little bit of a glimpse of a crowd.
Yeah. I think he'll be one of those guys that doesn't I don't know how Chauncey's going to run things, but under Terry, it was different. Like young guys barely saw the floor. I expect Shaden to, every now and then get like a run of games and like be not play for like 2 weeks. And then, I think it's going to be very stop and start for him. But, for him at this stage, just the more reps you can get for him, the more minutes, the better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
for
would
sure.
agree. I think that like this game against Maccabi tomorrow night or tonight, like
Quickly.
let's not be the Suns. I feel like you're about to say Suns, maybe.
I was literally about to say that.
Yeah. Let's not be the Suns and lose, but let's get as many minutes as we can to Shaden Sharp. I just want him to be like in the times he's gotten in, he hasn't really had an opportunity to get like a good shot up, especially in the first game. He was kind of like forcing the issue.
The Suns, you think they lost to the 76ers? They lost to the 36ers.
Yeah, wait, what do you mean the Suns lost in four?
The Suns lost to a team like a foreign team.
Oh,
They were
like
called
the Shanghai
I
Sharks.
think they're from Australia. It was
They're
something
from
like,
Australia,
but
I
they were
think.
called the 36ers.
Yeah,
they
like
really
the
went from the
Adeline.
finals to getting blown by Luca in game whatever to losing to the Shanghai Sharks. That is tough. But interesting thing that popped in my mind. Jabari Walker had a great first game. Great first game. He had 8 minutes, but 4 for 6 from the field, 1 for 1 from
9
3.
points in 9 minutes.
Yeah, and then next game he gets 4 minutes, doesn't play. What's up with that?
Yeah, he really didn't play at all. And like, we've got a frozen West.
Okay.
What
So Wes is completely okay, Wes is back now. But did you say something that whole time?
No.
Okay. I was gonna say like Jabari Walker hasn't gotten one set of minutes in any time other than garbage time fourth quarter. So which is unfortunate. Again, like we say we want all these guys to get minutes, but there's only so many minutes to be given out to these guys. So like if we're expecting, I think with Trendon Watford and Gary Payton II hurt, you should be giving Jabari Walker minutes right now. So I think that, like in the minutes he had, he performed well. So,
yep, for sure. One of the biggest storylines going into the season was obviously how's the defense going to be? Just to sum things up, first game, 102 points to the Clippers. That's respectable. And then we let 118 points fall into the hoop the following game for an average of 110. So just talk to me about the defense. What do you guys think so far? We're going into this season wanting just a league average defense, knowing our offense will probably be pretty good. So what do you guys think after being 30th, the worst defensive team last year, going to this season, holding the Clippers to 102, but then Jazz.
like the 118 to the Jazz, don't really take that much stock into it. We gave up 21 points in the first quarter, 33 in the second quarter. So what is that? 21, 33, quick math, 54 points in the first half. We gave up 36 points in the fourth quarter with like the trash guys in. I think that, again, it's too early to even give any thoughts on the defense. I think that having Jerami Grant get some steal, like Jerami Grant and Justice Winslow were great defensively. Nurkic has been so-so. I haven't really got it. I think Simons has looked stronger on defense. He hasn't really necessarily been able to, like, Kawhi put him in the post a couple of times, and he like one of the times he like rose up and hit an easy jumper over him, but he tried to back him down a couple of times and Simons wasn't really budging. So I think it's, again, too early to really take anything.
Yeah.
You can't look at the score and think that we had a bad defensive game.
I'll tell you what, the alarm bells will be ringing if we lose opening night to the Kings. They put up 120 plus.
Yeah, if like this was the scoreline for a regular season game against the Jazz, I would be coming in here and screaming and saying this season's going to suck. We're going to be terrible again.
Screaming?
I wouldn't be screaming, but I would be really disappointed because I just want a good season.
I would love a
podcast.
Good podcast, good vibes around the team. Look, vibes. What? Let's talk about that. What? Obviously, we aren't in the locker room every day yet. Obviously, yet. What? If from the outside looking in, just like all the fans who watch this, what do you think the vibe is around the team right now? Obviously, you're taking a stab, but
I think if vibes last year were like at a 25%, vibes this year are at like an 80%.
oh, so we're feeling good.
Vibes are great. Like
Good.
Dame looks so much like just happier, probably because of the injury or the non-injury. And like
Yeah.
again, I probably reading too far into this, but like this man like looks he's so like happy and so communicative when he's talking to Simons and he's talking to Grant. Not that he didn't do that with CJ, but like I didn't see this with Derrick Jones Jr. I didn't see this with Alfred Camino. Like he knows that he's got the best wing he's ever had next to him, and he's just happy that they finally have that. So
He's saying it. He's saying it.
yeah, I'm saying it's
Okay, well,
Hey, speaking of Jerami Grant, I did some research today, and we're gonna play Would You Rather. All right.
would you rather?
All right.
Okay.
Would you rather? So it's Jerami Grant edition. I've seen some other podcasts do this, and I like the idea.
Pick
So I'm
side.
gonna- sure, we want a name drop to be funny. Okay, Jerami Grant so I'm gonna say Jerami Grant or this player. You have to tell me who would you rather have? Okay.
Yeah.
Jerami Grant or Evan Mobley?
Evan Mobley.
yeah, I don't know. Okay, Evan Mobley, but like
Jerami Grant or Kyle Kuzma?
Jeremy Grant.
What the heck? Get out of here with that.
Why? What's wrong? What's wrong with Kuz, bro?
Kuzma plays no
Well-
defense, and Kuzma chucks.
Yeah, Kuzma chucks. I
Okay.
think Grant's like a tiny bit worse shooter than him, and then better at him in every other aspect by like 6 miles.
Agreed.
All right, this one's
Separate
good.
boundary.
This one's like for like. I could see you guys going either way. Jerami Grant or Aaron Gordon?
Jeremy Grant,
Jeremy
because
Grant,
Gordon-
better shooter.
yeah, Aaron Gordon. Like, I'm sorry, but if my point guard's driving, kicking it out to him for a 3, I'm not confident. Let me just say that again. Great defender, great athletic player, but
I feel like this one will be pretty standard, pretty chalk. Jerami Grant or Robert Covington?
Jeremy
Jeremy
Grant.
Grant.
Jeremy Grant can finish some dunks.
Okay, Jerami Grant or Tobias Harris?
Jeremy Grant. Better defense.
yeah, probably. Yeah.
Okay. Younger? Did that take it?
If you're looking, I'm just saying based on just this season. If you're looking for a guy that just needs to score, and I'm saying this all in the context of the Blazers, by the way.
Yeah, I will say try to be as unbiased as possible. Okay.
I think I have been.
Okay. Let's go with okay. We'll see if you guys really do. Jerami Grant or Miles Turner?
Ooh,
That's tough because they're like it's hard to compare.
kinda
Probably-
different-
Probably Miles
different
Turner.
they're kind of different.
But like
players.
if we have Nurk, I would rather Jeremy start next to Nurk than Miles Turner start next to Nurk.
Yeah.
So,
The four it's tough to like find like
yeah.
exactly the same because you have fours like KD and then you have like fours like Kyle Kuzma.
So I think
So,
that's pretty tight.
I'm gonna some of these are stretch fives.
Yeah, that's fair. I
Okay.
said yeah, that's fair.
Jerami Grant or Dorian Finney-Smith?
Jeremy Grant.
Jeremy Grant all day.
I would love Dorian on my team though. I'll side him at the 3.
Here we go. Jerami Grant or Julius Randle?
Jeremy Grant.
Jeremy Grant,
If
especially
this was
for the
2 years
Blazers,
ago, I would think about it. I would
I'm taking
probably say
Jeremy
Julius
Grant.
Randle,
I'm taking
but
Jerami Grant.
especially just like for fitting.
Julius
in
was like Kyle Kuzma, just chucks.
yeah, and it doesn't fit in with Portland. Randall on Portland. that
We're
would
just
be
talking about the better
ugly.
player. Stop. We don't care about fit. Jerami Grant or Mikal Bridges?
Oof. All right. Ooh.
Probably Mikhail's like top 3 defensive player of the year.
Woo!
He was literally second in voting last year.
No,
Not
I'm,
even like
kidding.
saying that as an
I'm
opinion.
just stirring the pot.
Yeah.
I'm taking Mikal just for the record.
Yeah.
he,
Jeremy's better on offense though a little bit.
Yeah, I agree.
They don't ask Mikal to do much in Phoenix.
Yeah.
We'll go with the other Phoenix wing, Jay Crowder.
Jeremy Grant.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I agree.
That was gross.
Jeremy Grant or Data Davis?
Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
But if I'm only getting 35 games out of him,
Ooh.
Oh. You're not gonna believe this. Anthony Davis was a late scratch tonight for lower back soreness.
Is he actually?
Yes.
Wow,
Cody,
dude,
Cody,
this
would you like
guy,
to
man.
would you like to say
cannot-
anything about
We're
that?
probably gonna get a post about it on House of Highlights saying Anthony Davis cheers on LeBron James as they're winning the game or something like that.
He cannot stay healthy. It's just unbelievable. I don't know.
You want to know
say.
what his replacement starter was? This shows you how undeep the Lakers are.
What?
Okay, I'm actually gonna have you guys guess this. He played for the Blazers within the last 3 years.
Let's go
At the
Kent
4.
Bazemore.
No, he's
On the Lakers?
Wenyen Gabriel.
yes.
That's tough.
Well, I don't know. I don't remember. Well, I don't know how Gabriel's doing nowadays, but
Yeah, I
Well,
if I didn't know
doesn't-
he was on the Lakers, I probably would say he's not in the league. But
Okay, I
that
got
was
a
tangent.
sneaky one. A sneaky one. I
Okay.
feel like y'all will definitely take Jeremy Grant, but Jeremy Grant or Jared Vanderbilt.
Jerami Grant.
Jared Vanderbilt is an elite
Jared-
rebounder. Elite
Yeah, no,
defender.
Jared Vanderbilt. I feel like Jared Vanderbilt is like Jerami Grant without the shooting, and obviously a little better rebounding.
Jeremy Grant or Al Horford.
Jeremy Grant, please, because I thought that would be more obvious, but now that I think
No, it's obvious. But if I'm taking them
Is
for
it?
one season,
Is
I
it?
I don't know if Al is
Who's the
gonna have
better player? Why are we looking at this through like
Jerami Grant.
okay, Jeremy Grant.
Come on, man.
Here we go.
I'm trying not to be biased. But
This is
I'm just-
this is a doozy. This is a doozy. Jeremy Grant or Jaren Jackson Jr.
Ooh,
Um,
Jaren Jackson Jr.
Yep.
But he
Good
can't
call.
stay healthy either.
yeah.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm throwing all these butts anytime I take someone other than Jerami Grant.
it's fair. I was pretty much all off the top of my head. Jeremy Grant or Siakam. You're taking Siakam.
Jerami Grant or John Collins, because that was another guy rumored to us.
Jeremy Grant.
I'm going
I'll
Jeremy
take-
Grant. He's not one dimensional.
Yeah.
I'll take
good.
Spicy P.
He's not a one dimensional lob threat.
Yeah, of course you'll take Spicy P, Cody. That's your freaking player comp.
Jeremy
Oh,
Grant. Thanks.
Yeah. Wait. Let's do player comps quick. Who's your player comp, Cole?
I can't. I don't want to. I don't remember what it was.
DeRozan.
Who
Oh, it was
it?
DeMar Midi.
Yep.
But I'm obviously not.
Not,
as
not
good.
that you guys care, but I was planning to pick up, against my roommate. It's such a ugly game, 1v1. He just lets me shoot threes at the top all game long because his stamina is absolutely dog. So he just lets me shoot, and then anyway. And I went like 1 for 9, but
Yeah.
still,
Expect
Very
it.
cool. Very cool.
still better than I'm not gonna say that. All right.
Jeremy Grant or Zion Williamson?
Okay. Give me the LB.
I'm the Pelicans are looking really good. Let's talk about other teams for just touch on other teams possibly for a second.
Okay.
I think
Go
the
ahead.
Pelicans might have could
Upside.
possibly have the biggest jump. They snuck into the playoffs last year, and with CJ McCollum, they, had a hard fought series against the Suns.
Mm.
And now they add Zion, who if he plays up to expectations, he could be a top 10 player. I'm not even joking at this point.
Interesting. Okay. 3 teams for me that are going to take a jump. New Orleans,
Yep.
Denver,
Agreed.
and I'm going to go with
Okay,
the
cool.
Clippers, obviously.
Yeah.
3 teams who I think are going to regress. I'm going Grizzlies. Not saying they don't make the playoffs.
Are we saying Jazz because that's an obvious?
No,
Or-
no.
Okay.
These are like I
People that'll make
think
playoffs still.
Grizzlies.
Agreed.
Suns are gonna take a step back. I think
Yeah.
the vibes over there are like -10.
I can see
-100.
that.
And
Love
then
that.
I think I'm gonna say it. The Timberwolves are gonna fall on their face.
I think the
Okay.
Timberwolves will be
Did you see
great.
Cat? He was like ill all summer. He lost like 20 pounds.
I did not see that. Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
So,
said he
sucks
just
for
started
him.
walking again like 3 days ago.
I'm sorry, but Rudy Gobert is I just do not like that guy.
Again, they'll be great in the regular season though. But
He's an
if
official
they're the 2
confidence.
seed and we're the 7 seed, I take that first
Dude.
round matchup any day of the week.
Are they like they're trying to replicate like Cleveland almost with this like twin tower lineup?
They will be but the difference between them and Cleveland is Evan Mobley doesn't shoot threes. Cat is the greatest shooting big of all time.
Whoa.
He is.
Whoa.
He shoots
Okay.
like 42% from 3.
Fine.
What do you guys
Honest-
think about
D'Angelo Russell is the definition of mid.
Yeah.
Okay.
They will be a good regular season team. I can
What do you guys think about the Lakers? Okay, we go from championship to one of the worst transition
think-
seasons
Hold
possible.
on. Can I say something quick?
sure.
Let's hear it.
Clippers. This is in no order. Clippers, Warriors, Portland, Phoenix, Dallas, New Orleans, Grizzlies, T-Wolves, Nuggets. Are the Lakers 10? They 10 here?
Yeah. down.
Anyone can say, like, again, the West is so deep that I wouldn't be surprised if the Blazers were 10. Like, that's the thing. I think the Lakers can be 10, but the Lakers can be 6 or not 6, 3. The Lakers, they're so hard to read because last time they were fully healthy, they were still really good. They just weren't healthy last year. That's
They
why
got Gabriel coming off the bench, and
They have Pat Bev.
that is interesting.
I'm kidding.
when LeBron and AD are healthy, like, you'd never know. But again, they still have for us. That's a little,
Yeah. What did y'all think about that would you rather game?
That was good. I think it's a good way to like think about like just where we kind of stand compared to
Because
the others.
I can do another one right now.
I mean, yeah, you can go ahead.
let's do another one.
We can dabble a little bit and while you're coming up with a new one.
No, I haven't.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, first I wanted to preface and kind of time out. Go buy the shirts. You want to talk about that?
I mean, yeah,
No.
Show the viewers.
Okay, hold on. No, Cole, can you stand up? Because that shot is so sick. I've seen it in not shot, shirt, both the shot and the shirt were so sick. First of all, I'm no advertiser, but shirts are really quality. And honestly, the design on the back is sick. I mean, why wouldn't you want to be sitting at a Blazer game and the opposing fan behind you? Imagine you're playing the Thunder in OKC and you sit courtside and the entire arena just sees the back of your shirt. Like, come on.
That is insane to think about. And I get my shirt probably tomorrow or 2 days. Excited for that.
But it's worth
I'll
it.
wear it for the podcast.
Shirt's worth
you don't want to miss out on this. We've got look. I'm not gonna say my DMs. But this guy right here just copped the bad shot shirt. Like, come on. And if you do, let us know on Instagram or Twitter.
Yes.
We'll talk to you about it because we love.
Also,
I want to interact with our followers.
Also, I'm pretty sure around Christmas we're going to a game in Portland. I want to see some bad shot shirts there. That would be sick. Every time
we be wearing it,
shirt, I'm gonna stop you and I'm gonna take a picture with you because we're gonna start a wave with this shirt. This shirt is so sick. It's so sick. Okay. Anyway, this is Nurk edition. This is Nurk edition.
Ooh, this is gonna be tough.
It's gonna be tough. Yusuf Nurkic, Clint Capella.
Nurkic now.
I'm gonna say Nurkic now. If it was 2 years, one Capella, but
yeah.
Nurkic.
Okay. I'm gonna just say quick now. And then just
DeAndre
Aiden.
Zubats.
Nurkic.
Nurk. What a bot.
Wait, what is that?
The
What a bot.
Oh,
Valanciunas.
Okay, those two are really similar in terms of their body and play style. But give me Nurk because I'm a Blazers fan. I don't know.
I don't
can
know
go either way.
because it depends on what you Valanciunas.
Yeah,
I have hair.
I agree. He's the definition of consistency.
Yeah, facts.
Steven Adams.
Nurk.
This one's no brainer. Bam Adebayo.
No brainer. Nurk. No, Bam.
No, I'm gonna take a Nurk on this one actually. No.
I think he brings just more to the table.
Bam. I heard Bam. Okay.
Bam.
Vucevic.
Nurk.
Jared
Which is
Allen.
dog now. Jared Allen.
Jared Allen.
Jared Allen. You don't need to say but.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay.
Easy, buddy.
Jared Allen, now Darius Garland though isn't putting up 16 a night. Let's just say that.
Time Lord.
Yeah. For sure.
Robert Williams. Closer than you think.
It's probably
Is Robert Williams a true center? He is.
Yes.
he. The thing is, like, he kind of played a little bit of 4, also 5. It depends on. Actually, I don't know who the 4 or 5 was on that Celtics team. Robert Williams, because in what I've seen, he's really good. But this man misses so many games. He played like 40 games last year. And he's already out for the start of the season. He's the new Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. I respect the take. You know, that's a tough one. You know, a lot of people wouldn't think that Time Lord's better than Nurk, but it's fair.
I mean, he was the X factor in the finals. Without him, Celtics would have gotten torched, in my opinion. So,
okay,
I'll say about that.
Rudy Gobert.
Rudy Gobert. I hate to say it, but
I don't mind saying it.
You don't mind saying it?
Okay, well, it's obvious, but He's just such an
Look,
artificial intelligence.
I don't like how Rudy plays, and I think he's just not he's not good on offense. But if we had like he literally makes every single if we had him on the Blazers last year, we would have been a top 5 defense. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Not saying we would have won a playoff series, but
He's just good at one thing though. I don't know, but
well, defense is a pretty important thing.
I guess so.
No.
Sorry, what
Did you want to say something before the Would You Rather game you were mentioning?
what?
Did I? Oh, do you have any more? If you don't, I want to touch on the final thing before we'll wrap up.
Alright.
I have like Miles Turner.
Or what, Nurk? Oh,
Miles Turner.
yeah,
by a
probably
hair.
Miles Turner.
Christian Wood.
Nurk.
Nurk.
Mitchell Robinson.
Nurk.
Rashawn Holmes.
Nurk. Okay, we're
Rick
done.
Lopez.
Nurk. Okay.
Jacob Pertl.
All right. It's Jakob.
No, it's Jacob Potel. I'm sorry.
Okay. Final thing
rap,
I want to
rap,
touch before it's
rap.
over. Final thing I want to touch before it's over is did you guys obviously probably saw the new Blazers jerseys designed by Dame. What were your just thoughts now that you've thought about it more? Do you think it's a good jersey?
I'm a Blazer fan. I'll never hate it. Any jersey. I like
I
it.
think the pinwheel's cool. Could have been better,
Yeah.
but I think it's solid.
I'm not a nerd that's gonna like I don't like the design. It's like, come on, bro. It's your team. I take that back. Those Mavs, whatever those jerseys were, the cartoon ones, I hate those. Those are terrible.
You know, there's some bad jerseys out there. I don't think the Blazers could ever have one though.
Dude,
I don't know,
Nike's in our backyard. We're not allowed to have bad jerseys.
Facts.
I just think a Blazer jersey with the color red on it is just a beautiful jersey, no matter what. It's impossible. Red is just such a
Agreed.
good. Red is just. I'm not gonna lie. I think the Blazers have like the most attractive, like what's it called? Maybe color scheme, maybe logo, just like vibey colors.
They
I don't
have
know.
like the Rip City itself just looks clean.
like the Magic with their blue. It just kind of what makes you want to throw up the Jazz with their yellow. It's like
Oh, let's
Blazers-
not get started on the Jazz jerseys.
the
Well,
Blazers are just clean. And
Quickly.
and I don't know why that reminded me of. What do you guys think of the Root Sports scoreboard?
I was gonna
Cool.
say
you
that.
were saying that? Yeah, it's so ugly. I hate it.
Yeah,
It,
it's
it,
a little
it,
box.
it'll grow on me when we get like some signature moments, like Dame hits a game winner, and then I look down at the scoreboard and our score goes by their score, and then it says final, and I'll be like, oh, I love this. Yeah,
Oh yeah, it'll grow. It'll grow, but it looks like a video game. It's just mad.
I did like how they had the like.
I don't. I know what you're saying.
Oh, you don't like the stats kind of like built in on the floor
I just think it looks kind of corny.
shot profile? Yeah, maybe I'll give it a few more games against Maccabi.
Yeah. So Blazers now have 3 more
How
preseason games, or is it 4 more?
about T minus 14 days? We're 2 weeks away.
Yeah, we are. 3 more preseason games, 2 versus NBA teams. We do play the Kings on Sunday, so maybe a little sneak peek of game number 1, and then the Warriors, who we go to Chase Center the 11th. So
Hey.
we will have a podcast. Would you have one more thing to say before I wrap?
Yes, I have a thought, but we're going to talk about this live right now, just really quick.
Go ahead.
We do a podcast every Wednesday. I say instead of a podcast on opening night, we do a live stream and watch the game.
I could be down.
Not
I
bad,
could be
yeah.
down for that. I could
If
be
it's
down
at the
for that.
same time, if it's now, I mean, it's game.
It's
It would
on
be
Wednesday,
theoretically
right?
game time right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's Wednesday.
Hey, comment down below if you want us to do a live stream during that game, and if you would come join. I think
down
we'll
below if
still
you're
probably do a
still
pod. We'd what?
I said comment down below if you're still watching.
Hey, yeah, if you're
That's
still
right.
watching, comment. Hey, we have our fan base. We got to stop selling ourselves short.
You're right.
Um,
We're here because of the fans, bro.
we will still have a podcast next
Yeah.
week though. And we'll probably won't talk about any of the rest of the preseason games. We'll really just talk about that first game because obviously no one cares about the preseason once the regular season starts.
Facts.
Oh wait, I'm stupid. That's in 2 weeks. We'll have
Yeah,
a
we'll have
podcast
one more
next
pod.
week wrapping up
One
the
more pod.
one more preseason pod. And then if you want to watch or listen to some of our post-game reactions about every game, at least one of us will be going live on Rip City Rundown after majority of the games. There will probably be some games we won't, and sometimes it might be a couple of us, but we'll give you our thoughts for 10 to 15 minutes. We had like 15 people in there last night, so that was fun after the Jazz game. So
Sounds good.
any closing statements from you guys before we finish?
It's about to be an amazing year.
I'll just say,
Late June, the Larry O'Brien Trophy will be in Dame's hands.
I love that. I mean, last year, part of me, sure, I was excited going the season, but at the back of the mind, I was worried. This year, I'm actually fully engaged, fully excited. So I'm
Let's do it.
excited to see what happens.
Hey, Blazer country.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
so
right.
Let's ride.
None of us are even in Oregon right now. That's weird. Anyway,
yeah.
Let's
All right.
ride.
So make sure to like this podcast. It helps it get on other people's pages. Make sure to go, if you're listening on Spotify, give it 5 stars. Go check out the website, link in the description, ripcityrundown.com. And we'll see you in the next video and podcast. Peace.